Well, here we are again. It's me. Yes, talking to you. That's what we do. Yep. We've been at it a while now. Like this is like what, 15, 14, 13, 14, I think it's 15. So this is 16. Just of the episodes of that story. That sanctuary story. The news story. Yes, that one. We'll get to it in a minute. We have to have a little bit of, well, banter and fun, and then we'll have a bit of wisdom. We'll figure that out. And then we'll go off to that story again. I mean, it's getting interesting, that's for sure. So, as I was going through my own stuff this day, and yes, I have my own stuff. You know, I am a human being. Sometimes this human being does actually understand human being, but I guess we all go through that. So, what do we do for wisdom? I was thinking about this. And I'm usually thinking about it most of the day. And then I get here and, you know, whatever God wishes and wills and requires to have happen, happens. And I was thinking of a very interesting little piece of wisdom around food. You know, one, we have to bless it. We really do. Food is too tampered with, too messed with, even when we think it's organic and absolutely 100% good for us, who knows? So we do have to bless it. It's also too beautiful to encase it in love and joy and peace as you're cooking it, if possible. And yes, I will do that to the people that are cooking my food at a fast food restaurant. I'm not sure how they feel, but I know the food feels good. And I do bless it. I ask it to be returned to the source that it was meant to be, every component, every part. And sometimes I'll extend that blessing to all the food because a lot of people don't bless their food. And blessing is really just being thankful to God that it exists. You know, that's just the truth of it. So surrounding it in joy and peace and love, and as it's cooking, blessing it, restoring it back to what it was meant to be for you, well, those are a happy beginning. Let's leave it there. We have been looking at quite a few things in that story of ours. And I imagine some of those things are stirring up things for you. Or maybe even getting to the place of wondering, could you actually create a sanctuary, a sanctum, a city of safety, or at least a house of it, maybe your own house? If you ever want to talk that over, you can reach out to me at eric@starthealing.me, 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 and we'll have a chat. I'll send you a link, and you can come and sit. Never know what you're going to learn. We always learn from one another. So it's always good to talk to one another. Listener, encourager, spiritual activator. And if you ask me what that means, it means basically this is God as I know God, so that you can get to the place that you know God. That's always going to be my thing. So, guess it's time for the story. I was trying to remember where we are. I was looking and going, oh, it's number 15 yesterday, so number 16 today. Long story. A little bit more to go. Well, uh, a few more episodes anyway. And so we have, watched this blacksmith wanderer, um, merchant, dimensional traveler, I guess we'll call him, uh, help out and sharpen up some weapons so that they can go hunting. and defend themselves. And it ended with a lot of bangs and booms and a very happy blacksmith with patterns and the metal to make them. And that's where we left it. And at this moment, the lady is moving towards the back wall, which is closer to a cliff, kind of making sure that no one is following her. She's following an intuitive hit. Something's going on near the back wall. And she feels almost as if God's saying, go alone, see what's happening. So she did. She pulled a portable ladder from that wonderful bag of hers that extends to any height. And up onto the wall she went, retracted it, set it back down, went back down. So I got to figure out how doors work in these walls. And then she heard a voice. She looked over and there was someone, and that someone didn't look in good condition. They looked like they had been in battle, but not the kind that happens on the ground. Not a battle of soldiers and things. This looked like somebody that had fallen out of a, could she say it? Starship. And I imagine the starship isn't in very good shape considering the shape of the person. Not quite human, different color skin, female, badly burned. Looks like she'd been in that form of battle. The lady walks over to her carefully and kneels and looks down, and she's muttering something about shields and fire all weapons. And how did they find us? And she lifts her head and they're everywhere, scattered all over the place. All seem to be alive, in rough shape, from somewhere else. Now here, somehow, some way. And the first one that she saw stirs a little, and she goes back to her and she goes, what happened? We were supposed to be in a safe haven. That's what we believed, and then someone broke in. We fought back, but our ship wasn't built for war. Where are my people? They're all here by the looks of it, scattered all over the place. I'll go get some help. You stay still. We got some magic and some mages and some sages and some people that herbalists, and we'll get your people feeling good and you're in the right place because this is a sanctuary, a sanctum. Well, not exactly where you are, but inside those walls, yes. And then intuitively, she just walked over to the wall and touched it. And when she did, it opened a small doorway. She goes, well, that's how that works. She walked in and went over, talked to the man that was from somewhere else that was sometimes a dragon and the prince, and they immediately started gathering people. And then she went traipsed right over to the mages and sages, whatever they were, and got them to come and start helping these people. And the man from somewhere else said, "Oh, you figured out the doors." Yes. I don't know how this all works, but the doors work. She said, but I can only walk through them, or you, or someone in sanctuary. She said, I think. We have a big mess out here to clean up. What happened? Oh, there's a big battle, and somehow they ended up here. All of them. They seem to be alive, at least for now. So over the next 6 to 7 to 10 hours, nobody was really counting too much. They were carrying these blue colored, kind of effervescent, bubbly people in, and as it seems to always happen when it's necessary, she found a healing center or something like it. She might have called it something else from her world, but it looked like a healing center with specialized beds that seemed to be ready to help initiate and accelerate healing. She picked up each one, and that lady wouldn't move until they were all counted for. Have you got all 700 of us? She goes, yes. Can your city hold them? Apparently. Sure how that's working right now. You're last, and now you go in. And she goes, okay. The man from somewhere else, that's sometimes a dragon, and the prince picked her up and brought her in and set her on one of those beds. She went into rest, and they all stood outside this facility, and the people that had come to help that intuitively knew herbs and healing, and the mages were there. The lady had released some healing potions from her pouch, and the man from somewhere else that was sometimes a dragon had done the same, and so had the prince. They also looked at the city and they said, it's awfully small now. And then there was a rumble. And the walls at the front and the sides, where there was space, began to expand. They stood staring in awe at how incredible this city really was. Let's leave it there. Let's have a blessing. Blessing of joy and peace, all being painted with God's brush. That immense nature of creativity and imagination and insight, awareness, understanding, wisdom, and so many other things, all painted by God's brush for you, according to His will and wish, according to your will and wish, this can be. Let's have a word of prayer. We come before you, Father, Spirit, Son. Isn't it interesting? The city expands as necessary. These people have come from where? I guess we'll find out in the next parts of the story. It's very much like what you do. You pick up and bring, carry, and help and heal. This is what a sanctuary is for. This is what a sanctum exists for. This is what one of those places where people can go and be safe exists for. And I know there are those that are listening that or will be listening may think they'll never be safe again, and yet God has a plan for their safety, for them to be safe. So we thank you, amazing God, for your courage and strength to continue forward, your grace and mercy overflowing us as we work out what is called life. And we are just so immensely in awe and grateful of all the things you do. And so we say thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, thankful, grateful, gratitude, standing in awe and honor and respect, allowing glory to flow. Father, Spirit, Son. This is, and so this is. So when you rest, rest well. When you wake, wake well. And know that your path is lit by God. Blessings.